Russia has launched a new wave of attacks across Ukraine. That is despite pledging to scale back operations near Kyiv. And this comes as both sides have reportedly agreed to a human corridor to allow people to leave the besieged city of Mariupol. Meantime, new details are emerging that Vladimir Putin may not be getting the full story about what's happening on the battlefield. Bradley Blackburn has more.
The White House says senior advisors to Russian President Vladimir Putin are afraid to tell him the truth about the war in Ukraine.
We believe that Putin is being misinformed by his advisors about how badly the Russian military is performing.
Officials say that could complicate a future peace agreement if Putin thinks he's in better shape than he really is.
That he may not fully understand the degree to which his forces are failing in Ukraine. That's a little discomforting.
A top British spy chief noted the struggles Russian forces are having in the battlefield.
We've seen Russian soldiers, short of weapons and morale, refusing to carry out orders, sabotaging their own equipment, and even accidentally shooting down their own aircraft.
Tatiana Chornoval is a former politician and mother of two. Now she serves on Ukraine's front lines, taking out tanks. She told CBS News this was one of her hits. The Russians are fighting stupidly, she says. They don't have a strategy or tactics. They're falling into the same traps. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky thanked President Biden for an additional $500 million in aid, which will go toward maintaining government services.
All right, so for more on this, we want to bring in writer and journalist Tomasz Grzywaczewski. You are joining me now from Kyiv. Tomasz, it is very good to see you again, sir. And I know you've been traveling around a lot, trying to chronicle everything that's happening and putting yourself at risk. So it is really great to see you looking as good as you do. So let me ask you a few questions. You have been traveling around. We heard that according to the negotiations, Russia had promised to scale back some attacks, but that doesn't seem to be happening. What are you seeing as you travel around the country, and how have you been able to travel around?
Thank you so much for an invitation. It's a great pleasure to be here with you. Currently, I'm in Kyiv, and the situation here is quite calm. But during the night, there were some shellings, and of course, there are still checkpoints, and police and army is checking everyone who is coming here. The situation is much more severe in the eastern parts of Ukraine. 2 weeks ago, I was in the city of Mykolaiv that was under a constant shelling by Russian army. We are traveling by car and trying to find the roads that are safe, because particularly closer to the front line, actually you cannot envisage which roads are really safe. There is a very huge risk to be ambushed by Russian forces. So traveling around Ukraine is, of course, still very risky. And despite claims of the Kremlin that they are withdrawing part of the forces from the Kyiv region, I am afraid that it might be just a military deception. And it's even more dangerous taking into consideration that people are coming back to Ukrainian capital. And if new missile strikes start, there might be much more victims than it used to be before.
So the effect may be that people feel like Kyiv is safe again and they may return, and that's not the case. As you've been traveling around, I want to say, I've seen there's all sorts of video online. As you've been traveling around, have you seen roads being sabotaged? Have you seen mines on roads?
I saw the roads that there were mines. There are some roads where there are Russian mines. There are also some roads where there are Ukrainian mines. Even here in the Kyiv, there are mines on some streets. But of course, these streets are protected by army. But still, it is better to keep to the main paths, not to go to the sidewalks, because it might be dangerous. And unfortunately, there are reports about the people who were killed by mines left by Russian army. And Russian army is right now shooting to civilians, also civilian cars. In Mykolaiv, in the hospital, I talked to the lady who was traveling with her family close to Mykolaiv, and they were attacked by Russian soldiers. They were in a normal civil car. 3 of her relatives were killed. And after this attack, Russian soldiers robbed them from money and from smartphones. She was seriously injured and she was left to die there. Fortunately, she survived. But I am pretty sure that such stories are right now happening all over the eastern Ukraine.
So, I mean, based on what you're seeing, there's no scaling back. And at this point, there should not be a debate as to whether or not civilians are being targeted. But we're not just talking targeted by shelling. We're talking targeted in a like, this isn't by mistake. The soldiers are very well aware that there are civilians on the other ends of their gun.
Of course, I am pretty sure that the Russian army is shooting directly to civilians. They are also shooting to journalists. There were American journalists killed, and we even removed inscription press from our car because, in my opinion, Russian soldiers are deliberately attacking journalists to kill the truth, as much as they are killing civilians to intimidate Ukrainian people and to try to break their will of fighting. So right now, no one is safe in Ukraine, and I am pretty sure that Russia is going to continue these attacks. Right now, they are withdrawing some forces, probably to replenish supplies and to replenish military equipment, and also to send new soldiers. It is currently quite hard to say where new offensive can start. In my opinion, it might be around Kharkiv, maybe also around the Mykolaiv, and I think that there are going still to be some missile attacks here in Kyiv.
Wow. Listen, Tomasz, stay safe. Really appreciate you talking to us. I encourage people to check out your Twitter, your Instagram. Really interesting information and observations there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and also please stay safe.
Yeah, you too. You too.